What's up, everyone? We're going to give you a full rundown of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives. Plus, we say goodbye to Claire, but hello to Olivia. AfterBuzz TV's DISHIN Days is coming up next.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Happy Sunday, all of you Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's DISHIN Days, where we give you a full recap of NBC's Emmy Award-winning #1 hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and we have a full gaggle of gals here.
I want to do the hair flip there.
Tammy felt that one.
Yeah, sure.
Felt the Holy Spirit in that one.
It's a different energy being over here.
Yes.
It's different.
Yes.
Welcome to this side over here.
I've crossed over. I've crossed over to the dark side.
What you mean? And of course, somebody far.
Hi.
Don't be trying to cut off my far. Far.
Michael Mattes, how are you? Oh, thank you. Thanks so much.
And of course, we have back in the hot seat with us.
She's back.
She back, y'all.
Hey everyone, I'm Chelsie Overocker. It's so good to be back.
Welcome back, Chelsea.
Thank you.
To the madness. And of course, to my immediate left, the ever so beautiful.
Hi, everyone.
Aww.
Tami Goveia here. Hey.
Thank you guys for tuning in live. If you're watching us live, if you're watching us later, thank you so much for clicking and tuning in. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, hello, podcasters, make sure you give us a comment and 5 stars. We always like to hear how much you like it and love it and want more of it. Also, if you are a huge fan of soap operas, we got quite the lineup for you today. We have a recap of Young and the Restless, which is the Restless Wrap. Also, we have GH Report, which is General Hospital. And making its monthly return, we have the Bold Breakdown, featuring my chocolate twin, James Lott Jr., and, of course, Miss Tami Goveia. Yes. You guys have a huge guest.
Yes, we have Annika Noel in the house, who plays Hope on the show, so we're super excited.
Listen, it is a day of guests. James Lott Jr. will be interviewing
Eden McCoy from General Hospital.
There we go.
Yes.
So, it's like Soap City
3 p.m.
up in AfterBuzz TV today. And of course, make sure you like us and follow us on all social media platforms. We are DISHIN Days on Facebook and Instagram, _DISHIN Days on the Twitters. Now, what do we think of this week's storylines?
It was a good week. I liked it. Yeah, especially towards the end with Hope and Kate and that whole scenario. But I will say, Claire leaving, that was a really good exit. I like it because I think there's going to be potential to bring her back later on. I don't think this is the end of Claire, but I really like the exit when she's in the wheelchair and she's saying goodbye to everybody. It was a nice moment with everything.
Yeah, agreed.
It mirrored a lot Theo's exit.
Yeah,
It
just
was
very loving.
Very loving, very,
supportive.
exactly.
Yeah.
And the same, elevator shot.
Oh, boy. I thought this week was kind of up and down for me. At first I was like, ooh, and then I was like, and then I was like, oh. So those were my reactions.
Ooh.
I loved it. I loved the ebb and flow of it all.
Yeah.
It was great.
Well, let's talk about it all before we have Olivia Rose Keegan join us later to talk about her time on the show. But before that, it's now time to start
DISHIN Days.
Okay.
Chelsea.
Yay!
And of course, shout out to Ryan in the booth. He's back.
Hey, Ryan.
Thank you guys.
He found his
Happy to
way
be here.
back to us, and we appreciate you for joining us on our wacky, lovable show. All right, so let's kick things off with the first storyline. Ben, Sierra, Claire, John, Marlena, Eve, Haley, Tripp, Belle, Sean. Who writes this?
Everybody.
Everybody's basically saying goodbye to Claire.
Yes.
Now, I had a feeling once we saw Claire going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs that Bayview was going to get another resident. And I was just kind of like, it makes sense, but for me, I almost kind of wish she went
To prison?
No, not to prison, but maybe just in a different way. Because we've already had the people going to Bayview.
It's kind of, I agree. It's kind of like a formula at this point.
Yeah.
And it would have been nice. I was curious how they were going to do it. And then when they said, oh, she's, it's either the judge is going to decide Bayview or jail, and I was like, oh, she's going to Bayview. They can't put her. They can't put her in prison.
Yeah,
even though she did try to burn several people alive. like, I'm like, you can't send Claire to jail. It just would not be.
No,
I wouldn't have been okay with that.
No, not at all. Because
I don't
she's
think a lot
not,
of people would.
Like
Because she's sick.
She is. She's apparently everybody got issues. Everybody got issues up here in the Salem.
In the Salem.
But I thought that it was definitely a nice closure.
Yes.
For her to just kind of recognize she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She didn't like go too far over the edge, but she went enough to where she was just kind of like, hold up, I'm a little too in love with fire. Let me reel it back in and like go get help. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and I think the only reason she reeled it back in was because of the support system. That's been emphasized over and over again about how she could very easily have crossed those lines and murdered a lot of people, but she had the support, and that pulled her back.
Yeah.
And I like how they're not. Like, everybody's rallying around her. Like, even the people she tried to. And it was, like, you know, it brought, like, tear to my eye. I was like, this is so touching. Everyone just is wishing her well. I didn't really cry. I said it brought a tear to my eye. But
I cried.
But it made me emotional because it was sweet. And it was
so
like, this
sweet.
poor girl, despite everything she's done, they are still behind her 1,000%.
Are you sure it wasn't the wine?
I didn't drink wine this week while watching I drank wine afterwards.
No wine?
I don't drink wine while watching. Are you
Invasion
kidding me?
of the
I have to
Body
remember what's
Snatchers.
going on.
Where's Michael?
I don't drink during 2 occasions: watching Days of Our Lives and when I see Madonna live. I don't drink because I want to remember the experience.
Okay.
So there you go.
Noted.
And I think with Claire and Sierra, I really like that vulnerable moment between them two as well. Because this whole time you're thinking, oh, Claire is the one, you know, that's jealous and everything. But, you know, Sierra's able to say, no, you know, I kind of started this too. So it's really cool that she's not like playing the victim in all of this, that she's being really supportive and saying, no, you know, especially when she's talking with Ben, thinking, okay, you know, this is what happened way before all of this started. And I think everyone just feels guilty that they weren't able to catch it a lot sooner. So I really do think the support system with Claire is awesome.
Yeah, and I also think that moment was needed from Sierra.
Yes.
Because had Sierra held on to any anger towards Claire and what she did, I don't think it would have been the proper send-off.
Yes.
I think Claire knowing that everything is fine and smooth, and even with Ben, like that interaction between her and Ben.
That was cute.
And
Stay away from the oatmeal.
Yes. Under no circumstances, do not eat the oatmeal.
But then I was like, is the oatmeal nasty? Are they putting their medicine in the oatmeal? Like, what's wrong with this oatmeal?
This is probably watery, you know, disgusting bad
hospital
oatmeal.
food, like the Jell-O. You never eat the Jell-O at the hospital.
This is gross.
Well, you're talking to somebody that would eat pretty much anything. So. I have my limits. But I eat, especially if I'm hungry. So in the morning, if I'm hungry, I just might eat the oatmeal. Just sprinkle a little cinnamon on it, we're fine.
Brown sugar, something. Maple syrup.
Yeah. But I thought all of those moments were great, just to have her go in a very peaceful makes it sound like she's dead.
I know, right?
Peaceful kind of a way, like everything is tied in a bow, and now. We can will you off.
And Chelsea's right. They wrote it in a way they can easily bring her back.
Yeah,
at any time.
they have to.
Don't they always write it in such a way where they can bring people off?
Well, yeah, they did it with Ben, and he came back.
Well, but here's also the other thing, though. Like, no matter when you leave Salem, you can always come back.
Yes.
As long
even
as
when you die.
And even now.
When you're dead.
All you have to do is have that one monologue that explains what had happened.
Yes,
We go,
that's the writer's job.
okay.
Got it.
We got it.
And I'm also going to say, too, I'm a huge Trip and Claire fan still. I'm not giving up on them. I love that moment between them, too, when she's saying goodbye to him, and he's just saying, you know, I wish you the best. And she's like, you are so sweet and so kind, and under any circumstance, I hope you find happiness. And I started crying. That was the moment that I started crying during that.
That
so
is sweet.
Very emotional
I'm not
moments.
giving up on Claire and Trip.
Wait, so you're team Claire and Trip?
After that, I kind of am. Yeah, I think so. Wouldn't it be kind of, I don't know. I just really like that moment between them two. They're cute
together.
She's like, no,
Yeah.
not falling for it.
I feel like no. Claire's person.
Tony's a no.
Tony's a no. Claire's person is not in Salem yet. Like I don't even when they put her and Theo together. I was just kind of like
No.
I don't think I feel like she needs. Okay. Follow me.
Okay.
If Rory were not on drugs or a drug dealer, maybe.
Okay. Well, I was gonna ask, like, do we see her with a bad boy or do we see her with a good guy?
I think she has to be someone edgy.
I was just going to say, she's
edgy.
following Sammy's footsteps.
Yeah, she has to be.
She's not following Sammy's
gotta have
footsteps.
it.
Claire's sick. Sammy wasn't sick. Sammy was just vindictive.
Well, she's got the tendencies. She's got
tendencies.
Yeah,
okay, I agree.
And maybe Sammy wasn't that sick because she always had the support system. I think Sammy's borderline. Yeah.
Borderline crazy?
Yeah. I do.
I think she needs that sweet, supportive person because I feel like with every person that she's been with, they've always kind of challenged her, and that's how she got sick, and challenged her not in a good way. So I think they just need, like, that sweet person. But who knows? Maybe that could be another storyline they can write back, and her person can be in there.
The good guy.
The good guy.
Yeah, but I also feel like with the character of Claire, she was always gunning for being, you know, in the forefront. You know what I mean? Like,
the spotlight.
Like, even in true Claire form, right before she gets willed off, will I be able to still post?
I know.
My followers are gonna get worried about me if I'm not posting. I'm like, girl, you going to Bayview? Go roll up next to Jordan, say hi, and keep it moving.
And I thought that was a really realistic moment, though. Like,
it was
so Claire. Of course, she's
very
think
Claire.
that way.
It's very Claire. But it was great. And then from that, I feel for Eve. I really do, as far as the death of Paige. However, stop, like, putting that on Ben. Like, everyone else, I mean, I know it's harder for Eve because, like, if this was Will who was still dead, you know, how would Sammy still react? And will Sammy still want revenge? And will the family still want revenge on Ben? But I think that with this new Ben and him recognizing that he was again in a bad place and that he has felt very bad about what he did, to have someone still kind of, you killed my daughter and you're gonna pay, and you know, and just like finding stuff to nail him on, it's like, okay, Eve, girl, you need to have.
Again, and I said this last week. I agree with how she feels towards Ben, but I don't agree with her actions, how she's reacting to it.
Yes.
And the moment that took me by surprise was when Claire said Eve was innocent.
Yeah, she defended
in all
her.
of this. And what made me even more surprised was when Eve went along with it.
Yeah.
Honestly, Eve's lost me at this moment. Because I can't believe that she's going along with this.
But she made up for it.
How?
When aggressive.
I know, right? That was very aggressive.
She was Eve's fault.
How? But that moment that she had with Jack when she stole the phone from the evidence room and she was about to smash it, and then Jack walked in and saw what she was doing, and that moment where she was like, you know, I connected with Claire because, you know, with the loss of Paige and everything, it was like she was my daughter, and I failed her. You know what I mean? Like, I recognized that she was sick, and I felt like in that moment, and ever since everything has happened with Claire, she's felt horrible and felt like she's dropped the ball over someone that she truly cares about.
Then be accountable.
You are mad.
She's still lying. It's just so wrong.
I see where you're coming. It's just hard because with Eve, whenever she tries to play like that guilt trip, I'm thinking, is this real? Like, I just don't feel like she's a sincere person. So it's hard when she tells Jack this. It's like, is she trying to cover up to save herself, or does she really feel this way?
Yeah. I feel like with Jack, she's sincere. Yeah. I feel like Jack is the one person that she's honest and raw with, and everybody else she can sometimes put up a front.
He calls her on stuff.
Oh yeah, he doesn't let her get away with stuff, and I think maybe that's why she's more honest and real with him than with anyone else.
Yeah.
In the chat room, Simone says Eve uses Paige's death as an excuse for everything she does lately. She never has to forgive Ben, but grief is not weapon either. Which is true.
It's not an excuse. At the end of the day, I mean, it gets to the point of, okay.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Oh, I know. It seems simplistic, but it's true, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I did love the moment between Sierra and Ben when Sierra is saying, how can I move on from this? You know, the guilt that she was feeling for not seeing how sick Claire was. And Ben, being all like Mr. Yoda on her.
Oh.
You know, like you just have to be thankful for the things in your life. And I was thinking, wow.
I second that. This whole episode, well, this week I was thinking, okay, Ben could be like a therapist. I think he could be like the new
Marlena's protege.
Yeah, yes. But yeah, I love that. I actually put that quote down where he was saying, there are going to be ones to help you get through this that will make a difference. You made a difference for me. Sin moment. Crying.
Yeah.
Yes. Good moment.
John in the chat room says, stop putting it on Ben. He strangled Paige while she begged for her life and left her on the cold bathroom floor. Side note, with those hideous shoes on. Eve is forever justified just because Ben has abs. We have to forgive him? No. Here's the thing. You can forgive him, but you'll never forget. There are so many people who, and now relating it to real life, my bad, but there are people who forgive those who murdered a family member only because you can't have
You can't carry that with
on
you.
Yeah. And so you have that feeling of forgiveness, but you're like, I'll never forget what you did. While you're sitting in front of the fake yogurt stop that's not there anymore because it's been placed with the Salem in. I haven't forgotten. You know, it's very that. All right. Well, that's that. That's my rant.
Okay.
Oh, the charges against Ben were dropped.
Yes.
That was a funny moment when his phone dings and she's like, "What?"
I wanted them. I thought it would be more appropriate for them to be like in person when the announcement was made. You know, I felt like that would have been more powerful than them being in bed seeing it on the phone. Just my opinion.
Well, it happened the way it was supposed to because right after they made that announcement, Eve called and said, I'm still gonna get you.
It would have been better had it been in person. That's just my opinion, but well.
Okay.
I'm glad the charges were dropped against him.
Yes.
But again, Eve is still like she made him. Gave him a little warning. I'm still, you know. Yeah. Except I don't like
She'll
that
she
basically threw Hope and Eli under the bus and blamed it on bad police work.
And what was his?
Ben said it's getting pretty crowded underneath that bus. I loved how Robert Wilson delivered that line. He was just
Writers,
on the phone.
That was awesome.
That was great.
I'll wait. Okay, I'll wait until and say that. Okay. They're doing some great police work though.
Who, Hope and Eli? Even though Hope, someone mentioned in the chat room, Hope's doing better police work now that she's out with Rafe than she ever did when she was with him. And not even working. She's doing this pro bono, just on her own.
That's because she can play by her own rules now.
Yeah.
She's not confined.
All right, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Bye, Claire. That was sad to see
Bye, Claire.
She'll be back.
I'll visit you in Bayview. All right, now on to Stefan, Cricole, Gabby, and Abe. With cameos by Chloe and Julie. How do we...
What do we say?
I still don't know how to feel about Abe in the mix of the
It's a little weird. I forgot almost that he was I thought he came in just to the club as just like a normal person, but I'm like, oh no, wait, he's part of this. He's working, and he had to try to spin the media if they fired Nicole. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, he works there, and I'm like, okay.
He's that middle ground person, you know, because Stefan and Gabby don't really want Nicole there, and then he's still trying to find like the benefit, you know, she just lost a child. But that exit scene though, when Nicole just goes off on Gabby, she leaves the club. Abe just looks at them like, how am I supposed to handle this? I know. How am I supposed to take care of that?
The most important question is, who was supposed to plan this party?
Nicole
was.
She was supposed to book the restaurant. Yes, Cricole was supposed to book it.
But in a matter of what?
like a day.
They were literally in the DeMare mansion discussing what the party should be like, and then this week they were like, the party's tonight. I was like, who's invited? Where are the decorations? How come nobody checked on the venue? Where's the food? Like, are y'all sure y'all were prepared for a party in a day?
I don't blame Nicole for dropping it, because I think I would have dropped it too.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that is tonight.
Well, she had to, because once she found the surprise in the secret room, she was just kind of like, party canceled.
Yeah.
I got some other things to handle. But Nicole, Stefan fired Cricole.
Yes.
From Basic Black, and then Gabby was like, well, I'll take it.
I'll do both.
Which made Stefan go, what are your true motives?
Yeah, I got suspicious.
Yeah.
Well, because now Brady told Chloe about the plan, that Gabby has for Stefan.
Right.
And while Chloe feels like, ooh, that's dirty, but then she's just kind of like, meh. He gets what he gets.
She's like, whatever.
Yeah. I still don't think, I think Gabby is losing sight of the plan, and she's falling for Stefan.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No question.
I think we saw. I think we saw that at the end where they were leaving Doug's place. That they kind of they had a conversation about just kind of going with it.
Yeah, but even when they both agreed that, okay, we'll test this out, we'll see where it goes, and they hugged, she had this grin on her face of like, I have you where I want you. So
I kind of took it as a grin of like she's smitten. I took it as a smitten grin. I didn't take it as a devious grin. I took it as a smitten grin.
I think she has feelings for him, but I think her plan is still superseding her feelings for him. Yeah. I thought that was a grin of like, plan is on track.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was like, yeah, because she just looks, and she looks off camera. She just has like this big grin of thinking, okay, what's going on?
You don't agree?
No.
She falling for him. And listen, how many times they gonna do it each episode?
I know.
They do it
like
a
rabbits.
lot. Like, are y'all tired?
They're getting
They're
steamy.
young.
Yeah.
But still, ain't nobody got time for that.
Everyone's catching them. Julie's catching them.
That was priceless.
Oh,
Always bringing Julie
So
into the
did not
mix.
expect that. I forgot where they were. You know, they're going at it on the desk. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, let's see where this goes.
and first of all, Gabby, how dare you knock over somebody's stuff on their desk? You know how long it takes to get your desk set up? And then you just gonna just move everything
That was probably
off?
Julie's stuff.
It was.
Well, I would be pissed if that was my desk.
I would too.
I would totally put the water on them.
And of course you expect Julie to act the way that she did.
Yes.
And rightfully so.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
I mean, Stefan and Gabby are her two least favorite people on the face of the planet.
When she's talking to Eli on the phone, protector of all that is good. This long monologue just to tell him that Gabby is.
Yes.
I have an intruder in my office.
And then Gabby grabs the phone and was like, Eli, there's no problem. And I was like, what'd you say, girl? Oh, that would have been great if Julie was like, what you call me? That would have been a great moment. You're welcome, writers. But that's pretty much all that happened with that storyline, right? Was there anything
Those
else?
are the
That's
basics,
the basics, yeah.
Because speaking of Cricole, and I realized...
Yeah, that leads into the next one.
Yes. So Cricole revealed her... Well, Kristen revealed herself to Ted and Kate. I will say this week has been a lot of everyone trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together.
Yes.
So you had Eli and Hope trying to figure out, Xander and Ted and all of that, and then of course Claire and Eve, like they were really like connected dots, and then Ted and Kate, while they were in captivity, because they ain't got nothing else to do, all the wine is gone, and Ted done ate up all the food, so they're just sitting there
They're
trying
starving
to,
for things.
So now they're trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And when will anyone learn? Stop telling people what you know.
What do you mean?
When Kate was like, oh, we think we know who you're working with. We think it might be Kristen. I found the red dress, and Xander said this, and blah. I was like, girl, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, you just telling her everything that you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then they're keeping quiet to Hope now.
Huh?
They're keeping quiet to Hope.
Right.
They're covering that.
And I was confused about that.
Me too.
We were having that discussion earlier. I said to Michael, am I missing something? Like, I don't understand why Ted and Kate are covering for Kristen. Does she have something over them? And Michael's like, no, I think
It's either that or just fear.
or fear.
But
But that's not Kate. That
I know
kind of
that's not
pissed me
Kate.
off, though.
I said that and then I'm like, wait, that's not really true to Kate's character. But it depends what Kristen threatened them with. We didn't see that.
Maybe they'll do the flashback thing.
Or it's because they both want, maybe Kristen came up with a plan. It's like, oh, we can take Stefan down
take
because
Stefan
both
down.
of them want,
Yes,
Ted and Kate
maybe
both
that's
want,
it.
because there was a comment Kate made about, we want to see Stefan down or whatever.
That's
and
it.
so maybe it's just like they found a common ground because now Kristen's after Stefan for firing Nicole.
Yes.
And so now maybe it's just their plan, but even when I say that, I'm thinking of Ted and Kate's reaction when they said it was Stefan, and they didn't they didn't look like pleased, or they looked like they were reluctantly like being forced to say that. So maybe it's not like they came to an agreement with a plan, or I don't know.
I think that was really spontaneous. Like, Kate kind of started it, and then Ted finished it. Like, and they put the blame on Stefan.
Yeah.
So, I remember that comment, though, when they were down the cellar, that they want revenge on him,
I'm
too.
slipping because I thought they were going to rat Kristen out. I
did
didn't
too.
see the Stefan thing coming.
But I did. I think I remember that moment when Kristen was talking to Xander, and he said, "Did you kill them?" And she said, "No, I decided to give them a pass because we can still use them, or I can still use them." And then she said to Xander, "They will be very careful about what they say going forward." And I'm thinking, okay, what does that mean? So
maybe there's more to it.
It made sense to me when all of a sudden the plans changed.
Yeah, but my initial thought once they were saved from the secret room was, why are y'all still in the DeMera mansion, and why is Hope serving water? Y'all got to go. Get out before somebody comes.
As Ted's slurping on the water, did you hear that?
Oh.
AMSR, ASMR, whatever.
Oh my God, right in the microphone. That was hysterical.
That was very ASMR, like.
Oh my God.
Someone should do an ASMR edit of Days. Like, because I saw the Housewives.
The Housewives one. The Housewives one is hilarious. Someone should do that for Days. I bet. And it has to be one of those like angry scenes too.
Yeah, exactly.
Where they're like yelling at each other,
Yeah.
but they're like, "I hate you so much. I don't want to be around you."
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that sounded so creepy.
Fans, get on it.
Well, oh, wait. Was there something else I was gonna say? Oh, wait.
Crickle?
Eli and Hope are also figuring out this. Oh, Hope did the same thing. Don't tell everybody what you know. So when she was talking to Xander, and she was going over like all the thoughts that she had and everything that has happened.
When she's trying to stall him?
Yeah. And I'm just like, no. When she was talking to him in the Kyriakis mansion.
Oh, okay.
And putting all the pieces of the puzzle together, I was like, girl, you stand in with. Shh. Like, be quiet. Like, play it cool. Like, why are you telling Xander everything that you know?
I mean, I think she thought that he was just going to confess.
Yeah. That was it. Like,
I don't know why she would think that, but
she caught him.
Speaking of Xander, okay, so I picture it. Salem, 2019. We have Sarah Horton, who is married to Rex, who likes Eric, but who Xander wants to be with.
correct.
There's 3 men. If you had to choose Eric, Xander, or Rex
For Sarah or
for Sarah,
Oh.
who would you go with? Michael Mattes.
Xander.
Xander?
Xander.
Reluctantly Xander, because I've always been an Eric and Sarah.
Me too.
Totally.
I think
But-
Sarah and Xander can like go toe to toe with each other. You know
And
what
I
mean?
love
I
I love the romance story of a bad boy just trying to change his ways because of from the love of a good woman. It's like, all right, you got me.
I know.
You got me.
Yeah, he's done that many times. He did that too when she was talking to him, and then he's like, "Oh, I got to get food for Kate and keep sure she doesn't starve."
Yes.
And I love the way he's changing.
And he even realizes himself. He had that moment
He's got
where
a
he's
conscience.
like, I'm going soft. Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Telfer
Telfer.
is selling it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really good, really well. He's become like, he was on, I think, every day this week. He's like he's like the star of the show right now.
Good for him.
As
I
he
know,
should
good
be.
for him, yeah.
I just, when they had that moment of this week when he sees her, but he talks about the necklace and realizing that Chloe had it, and he was like, you know, that really hurt. And I was just like, oh, you poor thing.
Yeah, you felt bad.
And I think for a moment, Sarah was even kind of like, oh.
I
Taken aback.
think she's still clearly attracted to him. No question.
I mean, who
There's
would be
chemistry.
attracted to all
There's
that?
chemistry between them.
Leo was attracted to all that.
And he's in good with her mama.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's in
Yeah.
good, so
Yes.
that's an important. I mean, Eric is too, but maybe, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maggie's trying to warm up to Rex. They had that moment where she's like, you
Yeah.
know, you've always been there for me, Sarah. I need to start being there for you, and you and Rex. So especially when she caught Maggie slipping
Almost.
a little
Yeah,
bit.
you know, Maggie needs
She found
something to
Victor.
focus on.
Yeah.
Victor needs to
Something
hide the liquor
positive to
better.
focus on. So if that means being Team Sarah and Rex, and making a conscious effort to be on their team so that she doesn't focus on drinking, then go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. There was a second, though, this is going back to Kristen and Xander in the hotel room, and Xander is saying to her, like, I can't let them starve. I mean, that's just wrong, especially after Sarah said, no, it's a painful death.
Yeah.
It's like not a good way to go. And Kristen said to him, oh, right, Mr. Patron Saint of 3% body fat. And he just kind of grinned, like, I can't argue.
They have very good moments together. It's definitely a push and pull, because I think there's always a moment where there's a plan, but then that plan changes.
Yeah. Falls apart or...
Yeah. So there's always that. And that's it with that storyline, right? That's pretty much all that happened.
Yeah.
I'm really wondering if they'll ever put the final piece of the puzzle together that Kristen is Nicole.
The masks. So far it has to come out at some point, but they haven't figured that out yet.
No.
And that's why she's laughing at him.
While we were talking right now, I was like, wait, they don't know that Cole is one person yet?
No, not yet.
No.
They think it's two separate people. Right. But also, Kristen is losing her mind, because let me tell you, if I were that hotel maid and I walked into that room and saw it destroyed again, I would have knocked on her door when she came back and be like, listen, you break up this room again.
It's like having a rock band.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, oh, well.
She keeps getting... But I think she's so frustrated. She's now showing her frustration of having to play someone else. It's like, girl, you can't do this forever. No, sorry. All right, and that was it for that. Little break, and we got some business to take care of. So, Miss Chelsie, what you got going on, girl?
Right. Well, before we move on to our next topic, we just want to say thank you guys so much for making AfterBuzz TV the ESPN of TV talk. We love what we're doing. We want to thank Kevin and Maria so much, and just please go ahead like our video, leave us a comment, give us feedback. So thank you guys so much.
And the announcement is brought to you by the kind folks here at AfterBuzz TV. All right, let's quickly get into some tidbits, because I heard from Ryan in the booth that our wonderful guest, Miss Olivia Rose Keegan, is in the building.
She's in the house.
She's in the house. Stay tuned for that interview. We're going to finish up our recap and our segments, and then we're going to bring in the lovely, beautiful, talented Miss Olivia Rose Keegan, Claire Brady.
Yay.
All right, so tidbits. Haley, Tripp, and JJ.
They're roommates. Yay. Next.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, next.
No love for...
I mean, it was fine, but it was just one of
That
those
is the basic
storylines.
that is
like,
what happened, though.
okay.
It's like, well, the whole, like, JJ got evicted from his apartment because of the whole Haley situation, and then he tried to stay there. Haley tried to convince him to stay there, but JJ was like, I'm not staying in some racist building. And I was like,
go JJ.
Go for you.
Yeah.
But then it was just kind of like, I had this question of I felt like I didn't need the scene where Tripp offered the room to Will and Sonny.
Yeah.
I wondered why that happened.
So odd.
It's like,
But then it transitioned into that, and he was like, "Oh, I have something." I was like, "I kind of just needed this. Like, I didn't need that. Like maybe like him just kind of like, what's wrong, man? With Claire being gone, like I'm struggling for a roommate. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. We'll take the bill." And then move on to like them, and then where he says, "Man, I just got evicted."
Yeah.
I need a roommate.
Because it seemed ludicrous that he was offering his a room
to Will and Sonny.
Yeah, it's like, really?
Yeah, that was a lot. But anyway, I feel like this is another triangle in the making with Tripp and JJ and Haley all living in the same space.
Do you think Tripp's going to fall for her?
Yes, I called a couple weeks ago. I was like, there's going to be a triangle between them. Oh, yes, it's happening.
It could be interesting, because I do see, I could see Haley with either one. I think right now we're liking JJ, but we're forgetting that her and Tripp have a connection too. So I'm wondering how that is all going to play out in the loft.
The loft of
yes.
The loft of
Yeah. And then when he was hugging her too, and she was back, he was just like, oh, she wanted her job back at the hospital. He was like, well, my fake fiance or wife is pretty smart or something. So and they hugged each other and they had that nice moment. Yeah. So I still see it between them two. And I think Haley is just a little nervous I don't know. She just seems a little nervous to be in that loft for some reason. And they kept saying, oh, it's because of Claire and it's her room. Like, I think that's what she's trying to go back on. But I think maybe there might be something more to it.
Yeah.
I never got the vibe that she had feelings for Trip. Like, even when they were fake pretending the whole fiancé thing. I never got the vibe that...
There was a glimmer in her eye.
Glimmer.
No.
Okay.
I don't know.
Next tidbit, John and Victor.
Love that scene. I wish they had more scenes together.
Yeah.
I like them together.
Because we forget that whole history between them.
Right,
you know?
because they were father-in-law, right?
Yeah.
Or Victor was his father-in-law.
Yeah.
Isabella.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he delivered the news about Claire.
Yeah.
Go under the couch.
I'm like, he needs to find a better hiding spot.
Right.
And then,
well, listen, he has one that he needs to get to, so he's just kind of like, I'm going to put it there.
and then 2 days later, Maggie finds it.
Right, as she's cleaning up the mess. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Maggie, we have Eric, Sarah, Rex, Chloe, Marlena, and Maggie. Maggie kind of was tempted again to drink.
Yeah.
Sarah stopped her.
Great scene.
Yeah.
So good.
What else happened?
I don't know. Eric continues to moan and groan. And
Oh, yeah.
This whole denial thing. And
that's another reason I'm choosing Xander. Xander doesn't moan and groan. He wants something.
Yeah.
You know, he did.
Yeah.
Eric is just such a.
Eric lost me when he married them.
Yeah.
It's like, really?
It just frustrates me.
Bye, Quijones. Bye.
Yeah, every scene he's just moaning, you know, and even like when he was with Marlena, you know, she's like
Eeyore?
Eeyore. Even she's like, wake up. She's like, I don't even understand why you did that. Why'd you marry them?
Exactly. I love that.
Oh, I just thought of this, and I just want to go back. Kate looking at Hope and Ted.
Yes.
She was just kind of like,
what is this? Like, really?
I need a drink.
What do you see in her?
Yeah, she was just so annoyed, and I was loving it.
Yeah.
I thought of that because going into our last tidbit, Will and Sunny. They're still cute. They're still a cute couple together. But it was just kind of like.
And we've been saying, like, you need to give them a moment to be happy. And
this is their moment.
This is the moment, but it was just so, you used the perfect word, corny. It was just like, no, I'm going to carry you. No, I'm going to carry you. I'm like, neither of you can carry each other. So just go through the door.
Shade. And the shade. I'm just glad
You're saying I'm being aggressive.
I'm just glad that the tumor has surpassed. They're now back together. I think for a while now it's kind of been like, let's let Will and Sunny just exist and live.
Yeah.
And I think we're finally going to see that moment.
And it was kind of a fun moment when Will's like, I'm so excited to get back to work. And Sunny, like, yeah, I'm unemployed. I don't know what I want to do with my life. Because I had totally forgotten about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder what they're going to do.
Live off of Uncle Vic's money.
Right?
You'll be good,
No
girl.
guilt.
Yeah,
No guilt. Be thankful.
Yeah.
Unless he goes to basic black. Everyone seems to be going there.
Right?
That could be interesting.
Okay, Chelsea.
Okay, Chelsea.
We like that.
All right.
All right.
Well, that has
Actually,
been
a really good idea.
right.
Mm-hmm.
See, now
Because
you
now
are
Gabby's
thinking.
not, taking it, and that position's open.
But then that would mean that someone else. So it's like Kate is at Titan, and then you're gonna have Sunny at Demera. How many of them have more than two companies?
I know.
Yeah.
We need another company flowchart.
I know.
All right, well, that has been your week of Days of Our Lives, and now it's time for our favorite part of the show, which are our segments, and we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Awards. Okay, now listen, there were quite a few snap-worthy moments this week. However, when you are going through your day-to-day work life and you stop off in your office just to maybe drop off some paperwork or maybe send an email or two or maybe check an invoice or maybe just put your feet up on your desk and walk in and realize that there are not one but 2 people trying to get it on your desk, you have no other response than to grab the lovely flowers that someone sent you and throw water on them to say, hey, you look like you needed to cool off. So for all of that glorious response that Julie had to seeing Gabby and Stefan trying to get it on in her office, I had to give her the official 3 Snaps Awards. Because let me tell you, if someone was all up in my space trying to get it on, I'm gonna be like, first of all, it's a no for me. Get it together. Don't be all up in my office trying to do things that you ain't got not damn business doing. Right.
Remember? Ooh.
All right. Let's move on to...
So it was fun because there were actually people tweeting about Lindsay Godfrey, Miss Sarah, on Days, and the Reformation dress that she was wearing, for the past 2 weeks, maybe? People have just been wearing, I don't know, maybe it's been a long time.
Well, you know, in Salem, they like to wear stuff for longer than a 24-hour period.
Exactly. So actually, Melanie Cohen on Twitter wrote, "Do you take Designer Days requests? I absolutely love Sarah Horton at Lindsay Godfrey's black flower dress with the open back from today's episode." And Lindsay actually tweeted, "It's Reformation, love Reformation." So thank you, Melanie, for the Designer Days engagement. Yes, I do look at all the comments that people make about fashion and style, and agree. I think Lindsay/Sarah looks amazing in this Reformation dress, and I too love Reformation. So that has been it for...
Oh, and that has been... Designer Days. Oh my gosh, this show is so ridiculous. Who puts this show together?
I don't know.
And now it's time for...
Attention there.
All right, I'm a little nervous about this one. I have regrets.
As
suddenly.
you should be.
Nope, you should not have regrets.
my
I cannot
gosh.
wait for you to read it all.
Oh.
I cannot wait.
If you can get the words out.
Okay,
Is that a
this
snort?
week's caption that photo comes courtesy of Camila Banus and Brandon Barash in the scene where Gabby makes Stefan the famous Hernandez recipe margarita, and this week's caption comes from Rick Cope on Facebook with Stefan saying, "Now we've both choked on something today."
Attention there.
Yeah.
That has been that. Yes. All right.
I have so many regrets right now.
Not at all. I was beaming from ear to ear when I was like, ha, that would be a great caption. Great job, Rick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the elevator doors have swung open and she's escaped from Bayview just to talk to us once again about her stint as Claire Brady. Please help me welcome to DISHIN Days the ever so beautiful and talented and not crazy Miss Olivia Rose Keegan.
Welcome back.
Can we just give her a standing O here?
I
Can we
know.
just please?
Like, amazing.
Amazing.
So
There's
good.
almost no words, really,
Wait,
truly.
It means more than you know.
Make sure the mic is
Oh, okay,
close.
yeah, sorry. It's my instinct because in the studio it's like a one-ear thing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I probably will need to put both. Okay. Oh, I can
It's
hear
a
myself.
it's a very Britney moment.
Oh, babe. I'm pretty sure I did a Britney impression last time I was on.
Do it again, do it again.
Oh, baby, baby. Oh, God. I need to stop. Okay.
So the last time you were here, you hinted to us that things were about to get crazy, and they sure did. Like, no one. I mean, there are quite a few people who can play crazy, and you are like right up there. Not that you're crazy in like real life.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't know me.
Although now I'm kind of looking like, is you crazy? But no, but you had such outstanding performances to wrap up the storyline with Claire. How was it for you to see the progression of Claire just getting like crazier and crazier and just like slightly losing her mind?
It was my dream.
That's right.
Every actor's dream. And thank you so much.
Of
It really
course.
means so much.
Look, the scene in the cabin when, well, first of all, we were like, listen, Claire's tiny.
Yeah.
And she done carried poor Sierra across the fence.
Adrenaline. We figured it was
Tied
adrenaline.
her up and all that kind of stuff. But when you were holding the knife and like was like playing with it like with your nails and I was like, oh, she's
Little
in
details like really
She is
sold
in
it.
Yeah. It was really good. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. I mean, I mean, it sounds bad, but it is. You want something that you can dig your nails into and really get into as an actor. And I feel like since the day I got on the show, I wanted that. But I don't know if I wasn't ready. I was so young. I mean, maybe I think I would have risen to the occasion, but I think the timing of it was perfect.
Yeah. And I think it goes with the character because I feel like throughout, even before we finally got to this point, there were already like little clues that Claire's a little off. Just a smidge. And we always equated it to being like a little Sammy. As Sammy was like really like boy crazy and like would do anything for it. Claire definitely pushed the limit.
Obsessive,
Yes. But it was all just so riveting and so good. Like, I was just like, look at her.
You're gonna make me cry. Thank you. No, because like the last couple episodes in the cabin scenes, I've never gotten a fan response like that. I literally, like, everyone who messaged me or tweeted or talked to me or said anything, like, thank you so much. If I made you feel something, that's why I do this.
It was that moment where Claire's sitting on the bed and she just is taking everything that's happened in and just being like why am I here? Like the way you were able to go from I hate to use the word crazy, but
I do too,
the heightened Claire, and then she's calmed down, and the way you played just both of them was just brilliant.
Thank you.
Brilliant, and it was like you feel sympathy for this person. It's not common where you have a character that's doing all these things where you feel like this genuine sympathy.
That's
and
the
it was really
key to a good character and also good writing. So thank you to the writers for giving me the opportunity. And that's the most confusing and crazy and most fun thing as an audience that we love to watch, I think, is when these crazy people, like the Walter Whites and the, I'm trying to think of like crazy villains that you do still feel sympathy for.
Yes.
And your emotions in those scenes were spot on. Like one moment you're just like, crazy. Well, I hate the word crazy, but mad. Yeah. And then you feel so vulnerable the next minute, and the way you could play those emotions off are really great.
There was a scene that Claire had with Eve, and Claire's talking like how vengeful she is, and Eve's giving her that look of, should I be worried? And and Claire said, you took a beat, and you said, what is wrong with me? And it was from that moment on, I think that was about a month ago maybe, I don't know, or a few weeks ago, it was from that moment on where my heart, it's like, I know she's ill, like this is, like someone needs to help her.
I just got chills because when I was getting those scripts, I was totally sided with Claire because crazy people don't want to be crazy. And again, I'm sorry to use that word, but unhinged people don't think they're unhinged.
Right.
And I think it ended great too. I want her to go to Bayview and get the help she needs.
We were saying that earlier. We don't, like, it wouldn't have been the right ending to send Claire to prison. It just would not have been right. It wouldn't have sat well with anybody. And this was the appropriate send-off.
Absolutely.
What was it like, the scene with Deidre Hall, Marlena Evans, who's your grandmother, and just having that moment with her? What were those scenes like for you filming that and just coming to this realization of like what you're doing and also having, your grandmother show support? Like, what was those moments like for you?
So somber. Like, because at that point, I think I didn't have a lot of time where I knew that I wasn't coming back to the show. I maybe had like 7 days where I could be on set knowing that I wasn't coming back for a while at least. And so that I knew at that point, and it was just, which it did, it really helped.
It fed it,
yes. It definitely fueled it. And, Deidre is someone who, she knew me when I was like 15 and I first came on the show, and it was it just felt like a full circle. It felt like everything that needed to happen has happened. All the things that I wanted from that experience I got, and she's always been so supportive and sweet and professional, and I admire her work ethic for sure. But as far as Claire, like there's no hope. for her and her mind.
Yeah.
And Marlena, for her to really, it's such a emotionally fragile situation, and so she has to get under my skin somehow and into my head and let me know that there is hope, and that it's not necessarily my fault. I mean, I should have handled myself very differently. If I knew something was wrong with me, I should have, helped myself. But yeah.
You just mentioned knowing when you were leaving the show. How much notice did you get about the ending of Claire?
Not much.
No?
I found out the day after, just to give you an idea of the timeline, when I had the scenes with Brandon, the most recent scenes with Sean in the Brady pub, where I broke down, it was after I filmed those scenes.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so
Okay.
I didn't have a lot of time.
It's like suddenly we're going to wrap this up in a bow and send you off and...
I had a feeling, but
Did you?
it wasn't confirmed. But honestly, it was such a bittersweet thing, but the timing was just kind of magical in a way. I knew that it was meant to be that way, and I'm just so grateful for the last 6 months and the story that they gave me, the people I got to working with Cassie. I love
so
that woman.
amazing.
She's something about working with Cassie was, I feel like, some of my best work.
Yeah.
She just brings
She
something
raises
out
the
of
bar.
it. Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
And we were saying the connection that Eve had with Claire and how bad she felt about not reaching out and not being there for Claire more. I think you kind of, even in the beginning when with the whole singing and going to New York and all that, there was always just this great connection between Eve and Claire, and you and Cassie just played that very well. It went from this mentor thing to this the person
reflection of each other, because we see a lot of ourselves in each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, she has a lot of really selfish tendencies, as does Claire. And so they were able to relate to each other on a pretty deep level, I think. And towards the end, Eve got overpowered with her own intentions, which are understandable. I mean, Ben killed her daughter.
Well, let's take a moment to look at your final scene from the show and your send-off, and then we're going to chat more about it.
Okay.
Here's Claire's final send-off.
Okay. We're all set. This is it. It's time to go.
Will you come to Bayview with us, Grandma?
Of course I will. I'll make sure that you're settled in and you're comfortable and you have everything you need.
And you'll come visit me too, right?
That's a fact, sweetheart.
I'll be with you every step of the way, I promise. Every step of the way.
Alrighty.
Oh, all the support of the family.
Yeah, that's amazing. But I could see that look of, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go.
The infamous elevator.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Wow.
In that
hurry up and get well.
In that moment for you, well, first, was this your official last scene?
Yes.
It was.
I mean, there might be something else, but like a random little, scratch that. I don't know. But that was my last scene as Claire in the present moment. Yeah.
For you, like knowing that the time of playing Claire Brady has been suspended. I don't want to say like it's done, but it's just
suspended.
For in soaps you're never really done.
Never.
What was that what were the emotions that were going through you on that day as that elevator door closed and you're like, this is it?
So much. I feel it literally was closure.
Yeah.
That particular scene, I feel like I didn't really have any tears left to cry. Like, and you know, as Claire, I guess the embarrassment kind of shut her down in a way. But I kind of wish I got to redo those scenes. But
why? What would you change?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt like it was a little. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's just because I just want to go back.
Would Claire have, like, as she's being wheeled to the elevator, like, sung a song in, like, remembrance or...
Please no.
Can you imagine if, like, as she's being wheeled away, it's the ringtone?
Oh, God.
She's the ringtone.
She's like
That's the
singing
horror
over
movie
it.
ending.
Yes, totally.
Scary.
Looks in the camera and she's just like blinks there, like, I'll be back, bitches.
That would actually be great.
Right.
I would support that.
But as I was watching the scene, I thought, I wonder what Olivia is thinking, like, at this moment, because you know, you basically, you know, grew on the show.
I grew up on that
Yeah.
show. Literally.
Yeah.
It's kind of all like hitting me again for the first time right now. Just talking about it with other people besides my family. Because me and my family will sit and watch the show and we'll talk about it. But, you know, it goes outside of my house. It goes across the world into whoever watches it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, it's a trip, man. But, as far as what I was feeling, I was kind of ready. Like, that last day, kind of behind the scenes filming too, was one of the greatest days of my life due to Victoria and my friend Kristen and Alex, who were in wardrobe, and basically everyone. We start at, sometimes, you know, my call time would be 6:15, and so early as hell. And a bunch of people got in my dressing room, hung up a bunch of beautiful banners and a bunch of balloons and a bunch of flowers and beautiful things everywhere, hid in my dressing room for like an hour. And then after, I was like in the hair and makeup room, and then I went down and I opened my door and I think I posted the video on my Instagram, some of it, and glitter everywhere, and there was a bunch of glitter in my hair, so filming was postponed by like 120 seconds, which was okay. It's my last day. I'm sorry.
They counted the seconds.
Literally. No, it was a magical, beautiful, wonderful day, and it felt like closure. It felt like a great chapter of my life was coming to an end. I got all the work as an actor that, you know, I wanted from it. I got that out of it. I got lifelong friends, so much knowledge. I feel like I did grow up on that show. Everything I know, I learned from that show, basically.
You know, we talked about your scenes with Deidre, but, you know, your scenes with Victoria in the cabin. And, you know, you have a beautiful friendship outside of the show. And I couldn't help but wonder how that, it's not just chemistry, you know, you've got such a bond, how that informed your work in that scene.
Oh, it was the best. It's working with your best friend because you have no guard up. You trust each other so much, and you're just following your instincts, both of you, and living in the spontaneity of that, especially when you have work like that, and also know that it's a bittersweet ending, and you're not going to be able to get paid to work with your best friend. So it's a lot of things, and then, you know, Sierra and Claire. It's weird. She's my aunt. I always forget that.
A character will bring that up every now and then. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
I totally
And then I try
forgot
to, in
about
my head, put the piece, like, how are they? Okay, yeah.
Right, because my dad is her brother.
Right. You forget that, yeah.
Me too, man.
I always think of them as, like, cousins. But
Me too.
Yeah. No, she's my aunt. But apparently Victoria told me the other day, I was born before her, I think. maybe that's wrong, but I was literally born before her, but she's my aunt. It's such a...
That's soap opera storytelling.
The family tree of a soap opera is just my favorite thing in the world to try to get the hang of.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hilarious.
I still want to walk into the writer's room and see the tree. Because in my mind,
to have it.
Yeah, in my mind, there's a tree. And like it shows, and I just want to stare at it just for a little while, just to figure it out.
There was a tree.
Yeah.
That would help me so much. It would help everyone. I think if you Google it, there's a Wikipedia. When I first got on the show, I remember like, who are all these people I'm talking about? And so I'd heard of them, but I didn't know my relation to them, and so I was Googling, and some Wikipedia pages have some trees going on, but a nice physical tree like how you made in school would be
exactly
nice.
Yes. That's what I would definitely
there
like.
has to be something that the writers reference
especially when they want there's a Bible somewhere.
I asked at the Daytime Emmys, I asked Ron because I was like, I feel like in the writer's room there's a tree, and he was like, it's not a tree per se, but we do have everyone's photos and like the relation and everything like that. Yeah. So it's not the tree in my mind. However, you guys should get a tree.
Get
just
a
saying.
tree. I agree with you.
Well, we know too that fans obviously have been making comments when they found out that you were coming onto the show today. So wanted to share some of the fan moments and comments from Insta. So Crazy EMS13 says, just a comment, but please let Olivia know that I think she's phenomenal. I have been a Days fan. I've been a Days fan for 30 years, and I truly believe she has quite a gift. I feel privileged to have been able to watch her talent.
Oh, stop it! Chills all over my body.
This is why I love the Daytime community, because their devotion and loyalty is so profound.
The loyalist fans.
And we said it on the show. We were like, we hope she's pinning these episodes because this is like Emmy reel worthy and Emmy nomination worthy of. So we're like,
this is Oscar worthy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is worthy. Seriously, Olivia.
I am not. The chills have not stopped on my body.
Daytime folks are so underrated.
Yeah, they really are.
They really are.
They're so underrated.
Yeah.
I've always said if you can do soap, you can do anything.
Yes.
Because nobody works as hard as the folks on Daytime.
Yeah.
So
thank you so much. What crazy EMO?
Yeah.
Wait, crazy
so
emo.
Crazy EMS 13.
Crazy EMS 13. You made my life. Thank you so much. No words. Like you said, no words. That's my heart goes out to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
We also had Sarah Yu. She says Olivia's been killing it this year and so many Emmy reel moments. Her favorite moment, however, was when you whacked Ben over the head with a frying pan.
That was my favorite.
I was like, oh my god, I forgot about that.
Somebody tweeted me a GIF of that the other day. Throwback.
But yeah, feeling like this on a Monday, right?
Right.
And then let's see how Rockin' Rick, RCKIN.
Yeah, Rockin' Rick.
Rockin' Rick says Olivia grew up in this role, and was amazing as Claire. I hope that this last story arc of Pyro Claire gets her a much deserved Emmy next year. I will miss her and still feel this could be the next Sammy in Salem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For sure.
Thank you.
Speaking of favorite moments, I mean there's so many like Claire moments that you've had. What has been your top three?
My top three? Well, it has to be all from the past storyline. Okay, I'll put the whack and Ben with the pan.
Yeah.
That'll be that's in there for sure. What's another favorite moment? I think when I was when Sierra was tied up in the cabin and everyone walked in, it just felt like a blast from the past. Kind of. It's like this is a huge part of my life, huge people in my in my life and on camera life and outside of on camera, real life, and it just started to all hit me all over again.
Yeah.
That's in there for sure. Just seeing the faces of people that I love so much, and then as the character knowing what I just did, that's in there. And then, what's number 3? Help me.
These are your moments.
I know. I've had so many amazing.
Yes.
I'm so lucky. I just feel so.
I will say the Bella Magazine contest and the obsession of that, and I think that for me was kind of the hope eyebrow raise of Claire's a little off, because just how obsessed she became with that whole
insecure.
competition.
You could see her insecurity
and hiring what was his name?
Oh, Wyatt.
To come in and rig it up for her.
That's right.
Yeah. I was like, that's good. Oh, I forgot about Wyatt.
Yeah.
I know.
So
I actually
earlier,
like Wyatt.
Earlier we were talking about potential people for Claire.
I'm related to 99.9%. So unless we want incest, it's so hard.
Yes.
Well, Chelsea was all for Trip and Claire.
I still
Really?
was. Yeah,
You're one of the very few.
I know, I am. But I love that scene where he's just like, I still believe in you, and you're just so sweet and so kind, and I want nothing but the best for you. Like, you two made me tear up in that moment, and I was like, I'm kind of for Trip and Claire a little bit now. I'm kind of back into it.
See, and I was like, I don't think Claire's person is in Salem yet. And then I thought about it more, and I was like, if Rory, if he didn't do drugs or sold them,
right? I thought that too.
Yeah.
And that's my number 3 moment. Something about filming with I don't know him very well. I want to. I haven't talked to him in a while because he would just come to set for those it'd be one day, a couple hours, and then I'd be like, bye. But that was always so fun. Something about the way they wrote our characters together. It's such a weird contrast between Claire is da la la and he's stoned out kind of okay.
2 different worlds collide.
Yeah, exactly.
That was good to incorporate him. Yeah. And now I just remember Wyatt, so now I'm like, Claire and Wyatt.
And Wyatt's a cutie.
Yeah. I would be down. I think that's more of a Claire and Wyatt have more in common than Trip and Claire. I think, as far as malicious intentions. Not even.
Someone in the chat room put that Emmy Eileen, when you were talking about who was born when, Claire was born September 27th, 2005, and Sierra was born December 29th, 2006.
Oh.
So you were born before, almost, basically a year and some change before your aunt.
I'm September
27th.
What does that make me a Virgo? I'm trying to think of my sign.
Or a Libra.
I always
think
thought
she's a Libra.
She should be a crazy Scorpio like me.
Right. But we love our Scorpios out there.
Oh yes, I'm a Scorpio.
Okay,
we just get a bad rap. Okay. So Libra. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
She's very balanced.
I was going to say, a little imbalanced right now, but, there's hope.
She's balanced on the crazy side.
She's literally chemically imbalanced. Okay.
Well, we're going to take some phone calls from you all, our wonderful fans, so that you guys can call in and ask your burning questions to Olivia or give her much praise that she deserves for playing the role of Claire Brady. But before we open the phone lines up, which is 424-354-8302. That's 424-354-8302. Give us a few minutes. The phone lines will be open in just a second. While we're preparing that, though, Olivia, here on DISHIN Days, we are a lover of games.
Oh yes.
So.
Somebody warned me about this. They're gonna have a game with accents.
Yeah. But just know that it didn't come from us. Mm-hmm. It came from someone you know quite well during her appearance on the show. Check out this clip.
Victoria.
We're all our dynamics are really similar in that we're professional, but we also like to let loose and have fun right up until we perform. So we joke around. We'll joke around about the the dialogue. We'll say it in accents. Olivia and I exchange the Russian accents a lot.
I see where this is going.
You guys need to have her on the show and have her show you all of her accents.
It's
I love you, girl. I love you more.
But why did you do this to me?
So with that, we decided to play.
Awesome.
Olivia, give us your accents. We each have decided on an accent that we would like to hear from you.
Okay.
And
my roster is very limited.
That's
we do
fine.
Russian a lot, like she said.
We'll test and see how well you do. So, Michael Mattes.
Okay, this is easy. Irish.
And it's not easy.
Okay,
Okay, give me a thing to say.
Oh, now I'm in the hot seat.
Yeah. How does it feel?
How does it feel? Say, how does it feel?
How does it feel? That was some weird thing. Not Irish. How does it feel?
Scandinavian or
Yeah, or
it's more like, how does it feel?
How does it feel?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's like Dutch, or that's okay. Okay, whatever. Irish. That was Irish.
There you go.
Done.
Chelsea.
British.
Well, see, whenever I do a British accent, I just go straight. I go straight to Cockney, and so everyone's like, "Oh, are you from that part of the?" And I'm like, "Okay." I guess I just whenever. Yeah. So I just start talking the Cockney accent, which is like a little more relaxed version of British, not the proper one.
Oh, you killed it.
Yeah. I feel like Sophie Turner.
Tamala.
So give me a Scarlett O'Hara fighting for Tara moment.
Wait, Scarlett O'Hara
Fighting for her home, Tara.
Southern.
Southern, yeah.
Okay. My mom is from Nashville, so this should be easy, but it's not. Oh, see, it's not. I really have to drop into this one. I really have to talk for a while before it actually gets good. But this isn't awful.
No.
I mean, my mom's from Nashville, so this isn't great. But
You still sound a little like Brittany.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
oh man.
What's funny is when you were talking earlier, you said something and you kind of said it in a Southern accent.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Really?
oh, well, the's her Southern accent.
Aw.
So maybe it comes out naturally, but when you try to force it, it's a little
just doesn't
harder.
happen. No. Okay.
All right. So last one. Russian.
Oh, okay. This is a speaking the Russian accent. See, this is my favorite because I don't know if it is even correctly Russian. It might be a little more Polish because see, Victoria, her first language is Polish, and her mother is. This is getting worse and worse. And her mother has a very thick Polish accent. I need to stop.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, were accents by Olivia.
This show was
you did
crazy.
great. I know, right? Welcome to our Wackadoodle show. All right. So we want to take questions from you all. I know that you guys really want to call in and speak to Olivia. Now's your chance. Give us a call here at 424-354. What's the rest?
We do have a caller on the line.
Oh, there we go. Before I even get to it, let's take this call. Hello, caller. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's DISHIN Days. You're on live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
It's Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. So, we have been super excited for Sarah because she called in the first time and she was so shy and she was so nervous. And lately she has been calling in and being like, "Hey y'all, so look, so this is what I want, and this is what's happening," and all of that. So I'm so happy that she's more and more and more confident in calling in. So
Sarah's my favorite. Sarah, I get your tweets every day, and I appreciate all of them. And I have so much fun talking to you.
Oh. So go ahead, Sarah. You're on live with Olivia. You have a question or comment for her?
I just want to say that you are amazing and did such a phenomenal job on all your scenes. And I just want to say, out of all the scenes, what has been the hardest thing to watch for you, and when you watch yourself, what was the hardest film to... I'm so nervous.
No, you're not. You're among friends.
Yeah.
I'm nervous too. We're all nervous.
We're all nervous.
But no need to be.
Which was your favorite scene, Sarah?
What was the hardest thing to watch when you watch yourself and to film?
Oh,
for you,
which
Olivia.
is the hardest scene for you to watch?
Yeah, hardest scene for me to watch as it's airing.
Yeah.
Oh, when she's talking about killing herself.
Yeah.
For sure. I
Yeah.
watched that with my whole family and my sister's boyfriend, and he was just like, that just got really real. And my sister, who doesn't watch the show a lot, I mean, she's busy, but like she watches my parts, and and she's just like, I just got really sad, and I had never seen her do that before.
Yeah.
So, but you know, it kind of made me really happy because that's what you want. You want to affect people. You want to make them feel something. So that was the
Exactly.
hardest to watch for sure, Sarah.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Oh, go ahead.
And how is working with your best friend that you always have to be so mean to?
How was it filming with my best friend that I always have to be so mean to? It's fun. We take out all our anger at each other. No, I'm kidding. I love her so much, and in a weird way that it fuels it because we just trust each other so much. So it makes it easier almost.
Oh. Well, thank you, Sarah, for calling in, and never be shy to call in. We always love to hear from you.
We love you, girl. I love talking to you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I think that means we have another caller. Hey, caller, welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days. You're on live.
Hello?
What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Melissa from Arkansas.
Hey, Melissa from Arkansas. Melissa,
Hey.
make sure you mute your computer or TV in the back, so that way we don't get
Yes,
feedback.
I turned my TV off.
There we are. Hey, Melissa, girl, how you doing? You're on live. Do you have a question or comment for Miss Olivia?
A comment.
Okay.
Just wanted to tell her she's done an amazing job, and everyone just loves to watch her, and she just really has done a great job acting as a disturbed person.
Disturbed.
And I was hoping that when they do hopefully bring her back, so we're all looking forward to that, that maybe they'll lean into her music some, because I would like to see that. I know they did some with Chloe when she was about Olivia's age. So
I felt like they were going in that direction when Claire first came about, that she was going to be more of the YouTube star singer, and then that went away, and then she just went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah. Well, it was still integrated in the story, but
Yeah.
there was just not a lot and there was some music. I didn't have any creative control over it or anything. It was all Genesee Nelson's music, and it was a great opportunity. But thank you so much, Melissa. I'm putting out more music soon. I know I keep saying that, but it's really happening soon. and thank you so much. It means more than you know.
Well, we'll be here to promote all of it
Always.
as soon as it comes out.
Y'all the best.
Oh, we try to be.
You are.
Thanks, Melissa, for calling in. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Bye. I can never tell when they're off.
I know.
So I always get nervous. It's like that nervous. Okay, bye.
Bye. Are you already gone? No. Okay.
Sounds like we have another caller. Hello, caller. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days. You're on live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Kimberly from Maryland.
Hey, hi, Kimberly. Do you have a question or comment for Olivia?
Well, I have a comment and then a question. First, I'd just like to say I want to apologize to Aaron because I made a comment that Tony was looking like a snack with his curls today, and he said that was his husband, so I apologize to Aaron.
Notice how it's just like...
If He's looking like a snack.
I was not expecting to look like a snack, but just y'all know I am the whole meal.
He's the whole meal. And the dessert. I love it.
Aaron will greatly appreciate that. I did see him say, hi, Tony, my husband, earlier, so how you doing?
Hi.
All right, go ahead.
And then I have a question for Olivia. Is there anybody that she didn't get to work with on days that she wished she did?
Oh.
A lot of people, because I would always get so excited when they would throw me in the melting pot and I get to work with new people.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I got to work with, I'm going to go with John Aniston. I feel like that's a common answer.
Yeah. Everybody, listen, I want to work with John. I just want to be I just want to have a shady moment with him. Right? Like, we just go back and forth.
He's just a legend without even trying. He's just a savage, and his delivery is just so like, he's awesome and just a sweet dude. And Bill Hayes is just a sweet teddy bear. I love that man, and Susan. So them for sure.
Awesome. Well, that was a great question.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in, and I'll be sure to tell Aaron that you are very sorry. Thanks again. Bye. You know what I just thought about? I would have loved to have seen Claire with Sarah. But I can't decide if it's drunk Sarah or just regular Sarah.
Drunk Sarah.
Don't you love Drunk Sarah?
Uh-huh.
Drunk Sarah is the best.
So good, and I love Lindsay. She's hilarious. She's my favorite person.
Oh my gosh.
That would be so fun. We never...
No.
I just stood up and we never really had a scene together.
No.
I don't even think we were in the background together. Maybe at a wedding way back when, but no interaction whatsoever. Or with Greg Vaughn, really. So many people. Okay. Yeah. Damn.
We are still taking more callers, but in the chat room, Sarah had an interesting question. Were there any bloopers? Do you remember any funny blooper moments?
Good question.
Oh, there were so many, and I always wish that Days would put together a blooper, a gag reel, because whenever I watch a show, that's my favorite thing to watch.
That's mine too.
Right?
So
it makes it, you can't not laugh because it's so genuine. And it's so funny. And I mean, trust me, we film 260 pages of dialogue a day. There are a lot of bloopers. And some of them get a little awkward because, you have
to keep going.
You get one take, so people are like, okay, get yourself together. But, oh God. Any specific ones that I remember?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Matthew Ashford is also someone I would have loved to work with even more.
Yeah.
And him and Cassie and me, and whenever we had a scene together, it was when do you remember what was going on in the story with Haley Chen and Tripp and Claire and Eve and Jack busted into our loft and were filming the whole thing when they were taking Haley and Matthew Ashford just it was so great. I think when he said, God bless America, that was completely improvised. Completely improvised. And me and Lucas, it was so good. So I hate that we lost it, but we lost it. And we got it again, the second take, but it was still, I think if you watch it, you can see a little, twitch in my smile. It's so bad. Also, when I was putting together my reel for last year, I don't know if it made it in, but when me and Lucas and Rob were talking in the Horton Town Square one time, and Lucas and Rob were about to get in a fight. Sorry, Tripp and Ben were about to get in a fight. And I was trying to get in between them. And then I think it was Rob that said something that had a lot of air in it. And so my hair just did this really funny thing where and I think I'm in the background and you can kind of see me just laughing a little bit. But it's not breaking character. If I were in that situation, that'd be funny. You know.
Well, thanks to Lamone sometimes posts
the behind the scenes stuff. I love when he does that.
Oh, it's so.
It would be great. That would be a great thing for Day of Days if they did, because they always show the preview, but they could show either bloopers intermittently throughout the day or at the end or something.
We would have endless material for.
Oh my gosh.
We're a rowdy bunch. Me and Victoria, like before, like when they say 3, 2, action, just before and after, it's absurd. So that would be good entertainment for everyone, I think.
All right, we have a bunch of people calling in, so let's go to the lines. Hello, caller. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days. You're on live. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Hey, everybody. This is Jamel from Brooklyn.
Jamel from Brooklyn. Hi. Where have you been?
Oh, just watching Days on Live, enjoying every minute of it.
Okay. Well, you're on live with Olivia. Do you have a question or comment?
You know, I was listening. I heard first of Olivia, I think that you, again, like everybody else was saying, that you did a wonderful, just brilliant job. And for me, I think that Claire, she was a part of a couple, I think, you know, in a conventional one with Eve and with Jack, because the three of you all together were my favorite troublemakers. I mean, listen, you all were delicious. You kidding me? I mean, y'all played it so serious. And I didn't play for jokes, and all the trouble you all caused, I saw it straight through. So I really enjoyed that you had a plan, you did it, and people had consequences. I loved Eve, Jack, and Claire when they all together. The three of y'all was amazing. I loved all three of you all together. But I was going to ask you, what was it like? I mean, you touched on it. What was it like working with Cassie Piper, who she's just a sweet person to meet? I've met her a couple of times in person. She's a sweet lady. So what was it like to work with her?
Oh, man.
And such a soap legend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and she's just so humbly confident, like, and just so there for you as, you know, actors, and just wants to make sure that every scene we do, we're completely there with each other. You know, we can both see through we don't care for the bullshit. And so she makes sure that we're both dropped in every single time. And if either of us doesn't feel good about it, then we have to do it again. And she's just so funny and fun. She challenged me because she's so... You can't not be real with her because she's such a real person and real actor. And so it's a dream because she brings that out in you. And something about working with her, I really brought out new colors in me, and it was a maternal thing too, because Eve's character, you know, Claire's mom was gone, so Eve was kind of the only mother figure that she had, a very interesting one at that. And so there was also that level of trust and love there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you so much.
So cute.
No.
Go ahead, Jamel.
You're absolutely right. No, I was going to say that you're absolutely right. I think that I mean, there's been moments of definitely like the emotion that's coming to the screen. But I think when Eve was saying that, you know, that she was feeling close to you, like, you know, because of her daughter going, that was the part that got me, you know. I mean, I was like, wow, you know, that you all were just sort of, I mean, that level of vulnerability that you all had in that performance at that part, and then going all the way towards the end of your time there, it was just going right to the end. It was wonderful. But yeah, you're right. That she said, well, you know, you just remind me of my daughter. I was like, oh my God. So it really did go to another level with the emotion and it for me, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know. So
yeah, we both filled each other's voids.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Well, thanks, Jamel, for climbing out of your rock and calling in, because I didn't talk to you in forever.
You know I do that for you. Come on now.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You hold it down in Brooklyn, Jamel.
Yeah.
I sure enough do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
All right, we have another caller. Y'all are just calling in. I love it.
I love it.
Hello, you are on live on AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello. Hi, this is Chris from Portland, Oregon.
What's your name?
Chris from Portland, Oregon.
Chase?
Chris,
hey, from Portland, Oregon. How you doing? Do you have a question or comment for Olivia? I almost called you Claire. Do you have a question or comment for Olivia?
Well, first of all, can I tell you my secret?
Oh.
Your secret?
Okay. What's your secret?
Yep. I'm Me World too.
Oh.
He what?
He's Me World too.
Oh! Hey! Oh my God. Me World, how you doing? I'm so sorry. I forgot to do your segment today, but I'll make sure I get to it before we head out. Very nice to finally meet you, Me World.
Well, I did call before, and I was really nervous about telling everybody who I was, but yeah, I feel like it's time.
Don't be nervous.
Reveal.
Listen, we have revealed quite a lot on this show in the past 4 years, so never be afraid. Are you in a wind tunnel? Where you at?
Yeah. Well, I do have a comment for Olivia.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, Olivia, what's up, girl?
Hi, what's up? I'm so happy to talk. Wait, so you're Mean Girl too?
No, Me World too.
He's always in our chat room.
Oh, I love it. I love it. How are you?
Thanks. I'm doing fantastic, and I just wanted to say you were a fantastic actress on this. I really love your character, Claire. And sometimes she makes me question, is she really Belle and Sean's daughter because the way she acts?
Well, you know the paternity is never quite confirmed in a soap opera, so I could very well be the daughter of whoever. Sammy and Philip or anybody basically.
And so it takes one phone call to clarify anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, well, just wanted to say I really enjoy your character, and I wish I could see her again. I actually have one question. I actually posted that question in the chat, but I don't think it was read, or maybe I didn't pay attention. But I was wondering, the scene with you and Olivia at the cabin when Claire was about to set the bed on fire, and then the director yelled cut. What was your reaction, you and Olivia?
My what did I feel after I filmed that scene with me about to light her on fire? It was very like somber and bittersweet and quiet in between those takes with me and Victoria. We were talking about this the other day, and I was just having flashbacks of how it was, because it was our last. We knew it was our last scenes together, getting to play as Sierra and Claire, and it was such a high. It was, such high stakes emotionally, so we had to kind of stay in it. It would definitely been a disservice to us if we broke out of that. It was special. That's like the only word I can think that would accurately describe it. Because it was just so bittersweet, and the energy in the room, and the whole stage was like kind of tingling,
crackling,
and quiet, and crackling, crackling from the fire. But yeah, that kind of sums it up. And thank you so much.
Oh, hey, Miro, while we have you on the phone, we have your oh shiz moment of the week, which is as soon as Eli finished talking to Hope, Eve shows up as if she was sitting right next to him. Oh shiz. There you go.
Well, that was the best moment ever. I laughed so hard at that moment. She just showed up like she was sitting right next to him. Yeah. It was crazy, man.
Well, thank you so much for calling in, and thank you so much for creating your very own segment. We will be sure to add that to our lineup. I won't forget next week.
All right, I better get a jingle too.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. I will do the jingle live for you every week before we present it. How about that?
All right, thanks, man.
All right, thanks for calling in. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Bye.
That was a joy.
That was so fun.
He literally created his own segment in the chat room. So when we do our segment, his pops up, and I'm like, okay, he did his own.
Devoted.
Very devoted.
Oh man, I love it.
What? Well, we'll take this caller before we have to wrap things up. No, we're gonna keep you here forever. Hello there, caller. You're on live on AfterBuzz TV's DISHIN Days. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Dwight again.
Hey, Dwight. How you doing?
Hello, Olivia.
Hi, how are you?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
For you. What was it like working with Deidre Hall?
It was amazing. I think I brushed on it a little bit before. She's just professional. She's a pro. You can learn a lot just from watching her and how she does it. She's a very warm and sweet, smart person. I have a lot of respect for her. And I definitely feel like she did help me grow up on that show. She's very smart. Love her.
We lost Dwight.
Thank you for calling, Dwight.
Good
we
question.
appreciate you. That was a great question. I actually thought he was going to ask, what was it like working with Chandler
I know.
Massey? I was waiting for it.
Why?
He's a big Will and Sonny fan.
Yeah,
love
he's a huge
it.
Will Sonny Chandler Massey fan, and so
He's another person that I never got to work with. I had one scene with him and Freddie towards the end, but nothing.
Yeah.
There's a lot for you to do.
Exactly.
So we'll take this last caller and then have some wrap-up follow-up questions.
Okay.
Hello, caller. You are on live with AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Emily from Boston.
Hey, Emily.
Hey, it's me. It's Crazy M's.
Oh, hey! Oh, it's the one that the tweet, the Instagram.
Yes, Crazy M's 13 right here.
Emily, thank you so much. You're so
sweet. I was so happy. I mean, I hated that you left, but I absolutely loved your story and I loved your acting.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Look at that. That was such a great full circle moment to read off the Instagram post, and now you're on live talking to her. Go ahead, ask your question, comment. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Well, I just wanted to say how proud I was of Olivia because, like I said, I've been watching the show for 30 years, and it really does take a lot to amaze me.
Yeah, it's true. Take a lot of what?
To amaze her.
It takes a lot to amaze me.
Yeah. And you did it.
Oh my God. Thank you so. Did you also comment on my Instagram?
Yeah.
Yes, I saw your comment. I was reading through them and crying, and so was my dad. My dad was reading through them, and my mom has been reading through them, and we're all just so freaking humbled. And I'm so. This is why I do this to make people feel something, and to actually hear that I moved you in any way, shape, or form it's my dream. So thank you so much.
And I was so happy that it was tonight when you were on, and I just wanted to say that I was so proud of you.
Thank you. Oh my God. I'm going to cry for like the third time.
Well, just call us the Oprah of AfterBuzz TV.
Right? Cheers for you. Cheers for you. Cheers for everyone.
Well, thank you so much for calling in, and
Thanks,
continue to support Olivia. You know, she's probably got some stuff coming up. She's got some music coming up. We don't know when yet, but it's coming.
We'll be watching. We'll be watching for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Emily.
Bye.
Oh, bye.
So everyone wants to know. I mean, you know, Days films 6 months in advance. So
And now it's even more, I think.
That's the rumor that's going around. But so you've known for I mean, you've been off the set for a while. But what have you been up to, and what's next for you besides music? Like,
oh man, I'm like falling back in love with acting. So I never fell out of it. I was I still loved every second of it, but it's just falling in love with acting outside of that world. I'm like, I'm getting new scripts and new characters, and it's so fun. Just going out and auditioning. And diving into all these new different things.
Were you auditioning while on the show?
Yeah, but not much, because you know, you're contractually obligated, so you can't do a lot. But now I'm honestly having the time of my life. I love it. I mean, Days of Our Lives was the time of my life, but I've been so fortunate, and I'm just really loving every second of it. I'm in class and meeting new people, and I went to Italy with my family.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember that trip because I commented.
Oh my
on
God, that made my day.
I was flipping through the Insta stories, and she just did like an Insta story or like a boomerang of just like her boots, and they were like snakeskin, like thigh high boots, and I was like, yes.
Oh my God, no, those are I think those are my snakeskin pants, my leggings, with my black suede thigh highs that I wear every day. But my friends make fun of me because I literally wear those thigh highs every day, Because it makes every outfit so much hotter and cuter.
I was living for it.
Yeah, I just got other shoes, and I'm trying to branch out of my comfort zone of my thigh highs. So wish me luck. But I remember that. That made me so happy.
I was like, I lived for it.
Oh my god, me too, man.
Before we wrap things up, any other preguntas? Questiones?
If Claire Brady was to make a comeback, where would you want her to be at with the storyline? Like, if you kind of had to dive in a little bit, where would you want her to be at when she makes her return?
That's such a great question.
That's a good one.
It's so difficult because my favorite part was the unhinged and the endless layers of crazy kind of and but I want her to get better. I want her to get better, and I think she's gonna get better.
Me too.
And she's gonna come back and be a more grounded, stable human.
As long as she's on medication.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. And as long as she takes her medication. I mean, look at Ben.
Yeah.
The best characters are the ones who can come back from anything, and that's great writing, and it's great character development. Like you said, you still have sympathy for these people in their craziest moments. So I hope she comes back all well and diagnosed correctly. I hope she meets new friends in Bayview.
Maybe she meets her man in Bayview.
Maybe. I hope she comes back with a man she met at Bayview.
With a doctor.
I feel like, for 4 years on a soap opera, my lover pairings were pretty limited. I mean, I had 2, and I loved both of them so much.
Yeah.
But, you know, for soap, it's like...
Well, you were so young.
2. That's true.
You know, so now as you're older...
We couldn't have you out there in those streets like that.
No.
Like, you know, that's a little too young.
I know. Like, the day I turned 18, I think it was my first, like, for real sex scene. I'll say how it is.
I got this.
It's hilarious. But, she needs a man.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. A nice, stable man that is the good amount of crazy.
There you go.
Yes.
Just a touch of crazy, not the full on amount.
What was the word you used earlier with an edge? Right, or
Edgy.
edgy, yeah.
Yes.
We had a conversation about who we would like to see Claire with, and we all agreed it needs to be someone with an edge.
With an edge,
Yeah.
maybe a dude in a band.
Yes.
A dude in a grunge rock band.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's like a sweet musician, and this is just my Olivia dreaming. But yeah, no, that'd be great. That'd be great.
I like it. Last thoughts before we wrap up the show. Michael Mattes.
Yeah.
Anything for Olivia while we have her
Just the
here?
best of luck with everything, and we hope to see you back soon.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we love you. I loved all of your scenes. I watched you with Beth, Belle, and Sean when you, how the character just grew and everything. So I want you back soon. But love your performance.
Thank you so
Tamala?
much.
We're going to miss you terribly on the landscape. But just super excited to see what comes, down the pike for you. Because we know great things are coming down the pike.
Yes. You are absolutely amazing. And if you ever lose touch of that, go back and watch the amazing stuff that you have done for this show.
Or just call us.
Or just call us.
I'll call it.
Just come
You guys, it's Olivia from Los Angeles. I've lost myself.
Just dial in, call.
God.
But
you guys are amazing.
You definitely left your mark on the show,
Yes.
and we wish you nothing but success with whatever you do, and just know that you have our full-on support
Always.
and whatever you do
No
in the
matter
future.
what you do.
Yeah.
I can't believe you guys are real. I love you guys so much. I'm on cloud 9 right now. I'm on cloud 9.
We're here to support forever.
Absolutely.
Dude, me too. I mean, this has always been the most fun time coming here.
Oh,
this is the
thank
most
you.
entertaining, fun, casual little shindig that you guys make.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Well, that is our time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to our full recap and also our lovely interview with the very talented Olivia Rose Keegan. Before we head out, quickly, let everyone know where they can cyberstalk you.
You can find me on Instagram at ML Mattes and Twitter at MLMatters1.
And you can find me on Instagram at Chelsie Overocker and Twitter at Chels Overocker.
You can find me on Twitter at Tami Goveia and Insta Tami.Goveia.
And Olivia, where can they keep up with you?
At Olivia Rose Keegan on Instagram and at Olivia Keegan with 2 N's on Twitter.
And of course, you guys, you can follow all of us on DISHIN Days on Facebook and Instagram and _DISHIN Days on Twitter, and me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Olivia, for being here.
Thanks, Olivia.
And we will see you guys next week for another full recap of the Emmy Award-winning soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Bye, everybody.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.